Where's your favorite place to play outside of Madison?
My favorite place to play outside of Madison is probably at Penn State in their field house because it gets jam-packed, especially if we're playing over there, or at Nebraska because once you start beating them, it goes silent in there.
All right.
Literally silent.
Well, first of all, congratulations. I hear you finished your undergrad today.
Yes, I did.
What's the degree?
Radio, television, and film with a minor in sports communication.
All right, Matt, you're out.
Yeah, right? Careful, Devyn, we're full here. It's been great having you. A round of applause for Devyn.
She's
Thank
local.
you.
Like, she probably could get to more shows than you.
Yeah, agreed.
Probably more talented.
Here's the thing. Come August, you're going to be pretty busy.
Yes, I will be. Starting preseason. So.
All right.
Yeah, so when does practice start for you?
I think August 1st, but we're back. We're off for like a month right now, and then we're back the 29th is when we start our summer workouts, 6 to 8 a.m.
Oh, wow.
Brutal.
Yeah.
Well, so what does off season look like? Because that's what everyone really cares about. We figure during the season you're in the gym, you're playing volleyball, you're getting geared up.
Now, Matt's
what are you doing in the
because
off season?
most people think Matt does not Matt just shows up at
Like
the
I've
Olympics
got
and curl.
4 years of off season, and then I just show up for the 2 weeks at the Olympics, and then I just take the next 4 years off.
Well, the off season in the summer is mainly just summer workouts. We're not really allowed to get in the gym with
No,
the coaches.
I'm saying like for fun.
Oh, for fun?
Yeah.
Like how do you
We're not trying to get you in trouble.
decompress?
Being like, yeah,
How do
being
you
like-
decompress? How do you get ready for another long grind of a season? Like personally, I make sure I get out on my boat, make sure I play some golf. Where's your head at?
Honestly, just doing whatever makes me happy, like playing sand or hanging out with friends, calling my mom, my grandma, hanging out with my boyfriend, getting on the golf course. He works at a golf course, so I get to go golf for free. So that's pretty
Nice.
fun. I'm pretty bad, but it's still pretty fun. Getting
Yeah,
better.
I mean, taking cuts is always going to be a good time, unless you're Alex Stroh. It looked like that was the reason they called it a stroke, because every time he tried to hit that thing, he looked like he was about to die.
Like he was having a
Or
stroke.
failed to hit that thing. He took 10 swings at a ball and missed it every single time.
I think about that every time I get out on the course. I'm like, I don't want to miss, like Strofe did. So as long as I'm not missing 10 times in a row, I know I'm
It's-
doing
Well,
good.
you're
Honestly,
athletic.
yes.
Stroh has zero athleticism.
It's almost like it does seem really impossible to miss it as many times as he did.
Yeah, I thought it was a joke.
Right. He basically got the yips in real time is what you saw.
We do have the video of it. We'll show you in the break. I don't know if you've seen it.
I've seen it.
Oh, man, is that brutal.
I thought he was joking.
Devyn's been an intern here. Now she works here as well. So
Yeah.
she's on the team, and we get to join their team. We are the new home of Wisconsin Badgers Volleyball. Really excited about that here on ESPN Madison. Matt, you and I are not on the call. But we will be able to – no, they don't want us on the call. They have really talented people on the call. We would just ruin it.
Well, right, but like special guest appearance from Olympic gold medalist Matt Hamilton.
What
That
would
sounds
you
pretty
like?
good.
What? Give me a call. Like, give
No.
me, As a
I will
color
not.
analyst, what would you drop in?
I would just.
Jim, that was hit really hard.
yeah. Honestly, you're probably right. I don't have much to.
That would bruise
bring
the
to
hell out
table.
of me if I got hit like that.
I think that was the libero. I think that's a volleyball word.
Yeah, good job.
Matt, you can chime in here with any, like, when I'm watching you guys play, like, a lot of times that, and obviously, I don't want to say organized chaos, but it reminds me a little bit of the NBA where you're watching things happen and you know there's plays or designs, but at the same time, it doesn't, and I mean this in a good way, it doesn't look like it, but obviously there is a plan when that ball is hit over the net. Can you walk us through that a little bit?
Yeah, it depends on if we're like in serve receive, like they're serving at us. We'll have a play where I'll like run across the court or someone will hit in the middle and then go outside or back row. It's kind of, our plays are set off of the first contact, but then after that, it's kind of just a free-for-all. Like, just get in where you fit in.
So you got your first play. So your first read, if I was going to equate it to football, and then it's jazz.
Yeah, kind of. Like,
So that first play kind of sets you up on where you should be, and then you kind of cover that area for the rest of, or do you just kind of fit in where is needed?
I mean, it depends on how well the pass is, too. It's like, if we plan to do something, but it doesn't go that way, just like, we go out of system, so just get it high and then get it over.
So there's just, and I'm guessing here, but just general rules then. So obviously, like, as a player, you might want to do these things. So everyone kind of knows, even though it's jazz, like in jazz, there's still general structure.
Yeah.
It's just far
You know where
looser.
you're
So there's
trying to
general
go.
structure.
Yeah.
You're just trying to execute the best you can after things might go a little haywire.
Yeah, it's kind of like, if the pass brings the setter forward, it's like, okay, then I'm going to run a dog, like run behind off 1 foot because there's no blockers over there because they're all shifted that way, that kind of thing.
See, that explains more because it does look like organized chaos, but I mean, that's the best type of sports. That's what I like to watch.
Mm-hmm. It seems like very reactive chaos, right? Like someone makes a move. Obviously, you don't plan for where they're going to hit a shot, but once someone makes a move, someone's always filling that hole if they're like leaving space.
Yeah, like if people, like we go up to block at the net and people defending behind us, like if they see a hole in the block, then they'll just step into that because they're reading the game. Like,
gotcha.
Yeah. Or if there's a free ball coming over, like just a really high ball, then we run our play again, whatever we had set before.
We're talking with Devyn Robinson of Wisconsin Badgers Volleyball, and thanks for entertaining us right now because we're a bunch of idiots.
Yeah.
Like we watch, but that's what I enjoy about watching volleyball is because I don't have an opinion. I just
and that's also why I like having actual experts in.
Right.
So I can actually get the breakdown.
Right. But I don't want to know too much because I want to be able to just enjoy it. Like
the
you watch
mystery
football,
is still good.
But if you watch, but it's like when I watch hockey sometimes. I'm like, I know the rules, I know what's happening, but I don't know enough to like be like, oh, you messed that up. I just watch it, and that's what I like about the volleyball team because it's like I can just watch and appreciate how talented they are instead of like, because I really don't know. We don't know for football either. Like, the Packers should have done that. Like we know, we know too much to make it enjoyable.
I think
for us.
I know too much.
So, Devyn and Matt's talked about this before, but obviously, like I joke when I golf with Matt that like there's never a time like a normal person you like would feel nervous with a big putt or whatever just because it's a little spotlight on you, and he's won the gold medal. But at some point, Matt, and at some point, Devyn, you went from the young person on your team to having the moments. They still matter, but that balance between having control of the moment as opposed to maybe early on that moment might have had control over you. And you both could talk about that.
Yeah, I guess as I've gotten older, like when it gets to those high pressure situations, I feel a little more pressure because I'm the older one. Like I have to be able to perform for these younger kids. But when I was younger, I had the older girls behind me, like Dana, Recchi, all the big names. And I was like, all right, I just got to go do my thing and they're going to cover me. But I remember last season, I went back to serve for like game point and I was like, okay, like just calm down. But yeah, I feel like as I got older, the nerves kind of snuck in a little bit, but I'm getting better at controlling those.
Interesting. I'm kind of on the other end of the spectrum where when I first started, like I remember my first game at the Olympics, I was playing mixed doubles, playing Russia, nervous as all get out. I was shaking. There's a photo of me. I fell on worldwide television. No one touched me. Like, those like all those like videos where they have that like superimposed like a ninja kicking someone out, like their legs out from under them. That's what I look like in this. Nobody's even near me. And I go down and it was all nerves, right? But that kind of like loosened me up and it was like, well, nowhere to go but up. Literally, I am on the ice, bruised ego more than bruised tailbone, and had to like bounce back from it. And then I remember my second go. I remember at my second go at the Olympics, I was so ready to go. I was like, been here, done this. So like, I see what you're saying. There's definitely more of a cycle of players in college sports, right? Like, you're the youngest, you become the oldest. Like for me, I've got the same team still, so I have even more of a comfort zone built. So that might be the difference in why I haven't felt this pressure the same way. But it's very interesting the way people do feel pressure. And I will pull up this photo of me falling, Devyn. It is 10 out of 10.
I love that there's multiple times now Matt's just referenced things that nobody else can see. This is an audio medium. So
I know.
Share this with Devyn
that's why
later.
That's why I tried to like explain the photo itself.
Maybe our producer Ryan Wollersheim could find it and share it on the stream since we're streaming
so it gets
everywhere.
done next hour.
What are you trying to say?
What's he doing back there? Nothing.
I know. I just thought it was straight out there.
Yeah.
Everyone's ego takes a shot on this show.
Not even just your own hockey. You're just gonna say your one line.
Well, I just wanted to remind everybody's ego takes a shot on this show. Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show. Yeah, right. Words to live by.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Why do you think I had Devyn come on today? I didn't want to have to do anything. I wanted to stand back here and just like take a break. You got two guests.
Yeah, but Cap too. Like he's just shutting it down.
I hold on. I got a question for Devyn.
Yeah.
Have they released the schedule yet?
I'm going to be honest, I have
it
no
came
idea.
out today.
I'm also very similar to you. Just like tell me when to play because it doesn't matter who we're playing. We're playing 6 people on the other side of the net, right? Like, I get that. Now, my next question to the follow-up, if you knew the schedule, which, again, doesn't matter, where's your favorite place to play outside of Madison?
My favorite place to play outside of Madison is probably At Penn State in their field house because it gets jam-packed, especially if we're playing over there, or at Nebraska because once you start beating them, it goes silent in there.
All right.
Literally silent.
Now, are you basing this off of like good crowds, like good like vibes, or is it like they have the best locker room, or like their gym's the best, they have the best court?
I'm basing it off the crowds, and I like Nebraska's court, but Penn State, like the fans are literally like that wall. To me, like that's how close
it's like
they are.
8 feet for all of you in the cars. And
oh, look at this guy. Yeah, Matt Hamilton.
There's some dazzling details, baby.
Okay. Give him the old razzle-dazzle.
Yeah. That's my radio jazz hands.
There you go. You were obsessed with the word jazz during this interview.
That's too. It's a bet. I'm trying to win a bet. First segment, got to say jazz 6 times.
The word of the day, but forget it. You guys aren't going to get the reference here. We're talking about Devyn Robinson. We are the new home of Wisconsin volleyball here, and we're very excited about it. This is a game at Pfizer Forum. Now, you do know those opponents, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Stanford, Texas. That's a star-studded group, and Pfizer Forum's a lot of fun to play at. What is that experience like? And then obviously the fan base travels well, so you can also juxtapose it to the field house because the fans travel, and obviously just to Milwaukee's not bad, but playing in the big arena full of Badger fans and playing to the field house, what makes both those experiences great?
Well, I mean, playing at the field house, like the fans, like everyone's there cheering for you, and it's so loud. I feel like our 2022 season, we like broke the sound barrier or whatever. But maybe not the sound barrier.
So fast.
Okay. I've seen that somewhere. But.
In
Decibels
playing
were
at
off
the
the
Pfizer,
charts.
it's like just another field house at that point, but they're a little farther away, so it doesn't feel like they're right on top of you. And I'm pretty good at tuning out the noise, so it doesn't really change for me.
You know, one of the things that, because I've been bringing my girls to it, and 2 parts. One, I'll first talk about, we've seen volleyball at least a couple times a year. And obviously Caitlin Clark has grabbed this torch along with, a lot of other players in the WNBA, but volleyball is a big, prestigious sport as well. Having that ability to be kind of a role model or an icon for younger athletes in general, because like you can see the boys are out there shooting basketballs and they're yelling Caitlin Clark too. So it's not just young girls that are appreciating volleyball and you're a role model for. It's also just young athletes in general. Yeah. How have you been able to embrace that?
It's a great feeling, honestly. It makes me feel so good after a game. Like, we'll have little kids wait outside of our locker room, and they're just like, oh, can you sign this? Can you sign this? I drove 7 hours to come watch you play, and I'm like, oh, thank you so much. Even if I was like, I played kind of bad, but like, here you go, I'll sign this for you. But yeah, it feels so good to be their role model for young kids everywhere. Even when I went to this taco shop the other day, some lady was like, my son was just so excited to come to some of your games. I was like, oh, thank you. That's why I do it. But like, yeah.
That's fantastic.
That's so exciting.
And then with that and being a role model and having that kind of exposure, that's got to be really exciting for you. And then from a fan's perspective, though, what sports do you enjoy watching? Who are some of the athletes you're a fan of?
I mean, I personally love watching volleyball when it's in season, especially if it's like, oh, we're about to play them. I'm a big fan of Asia O'Neal and Maddie Skinner. They both play at Texas. Even in practice, like watching Anna and Sarah get up there and kill a ball, like I love watching that. And one of my favorite players to watch right now is probably Anthony Edwards. Like he's a dog.
Yes.
He's a dog.
Yes. No doubt.
And I feel like the way he plays, like if I was in the NBA, I'd play like him. So that's why I'm like watching him. But
there's people in the NBA that say that about him too.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So.
Wow, good choices.
So getting to know you a little bit more, Matt, you got your favorite like where to eat question here.
Mm-hmm. We'll get there.
What do you listen to, or is it anything getting, warm-ups, things like that? What's in the headphones?
Probably Out My Way by Juice WRLD. It really hypes me up because like Get Out My Way, or
right.
whatever I'm feeling. Like my brain kind of like itches for certain songs on game day, and I get kind of like superstitious, so I play certain songs over and over again.
I like that. I'll pick like a 6-song playlist, and that will be like my world championship playlist or whatever event I'm at. That will be the one I go to. Mm-hmm. Now, does that pregame routine ever change? Like maybe if mojo needs to change, or if it's like, hey, things are going good, we're not changing a thing.
I feel like if I become like self-aware that I'm doing something different, I'm like, oh, like my skin starts to vibrate. I'm like, I shouldn't have thought that. Like, I don't think those thoughts, but I feel like it kind of just gradually changes. I'm not like purposely making it change.
Right. Okay.
Who's the funniest person on the team?
The crown is heavy. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm not really kidding. I feel like I'm I'm up there, but Carter Booth is pretty
Okay.
funny. I feel like we're all pretty funny in our own ways, but I feel like me and Carter kind of uphold the funny side.
All right.
So on the sidelines, I've seen it when I come to the games. It's such a fun vibe. The whole team is, dancing with the music, always cheering each other on. It's not obviously basketball. You're going to see cheering on, but everyone's sitting. The college football sidelines, the players are on the sidelines, and they're really compartmentalized. And it's not every volleyball team I've seen carries it. Now, obviously, I've only seen them at the field house. Maybe they don't travel that energy. But is that something that's unique to Wisconsin? And what was kind of the thought process of that here when you got here, as far as the team is always moving, always dancing, always kind of just embracing the whole vibe of the field house?
I feel like that's just been the culture at Wisconsin, like just having a good time on the sideline, and it's like a good way to like stay warm if you're ready to come in from off the bench.
Jim was talking about that the other day. he took a half-hour warm-up for a charity basketball game, and then when he finally got in the game,
I sat for like 15 minutes.
He was
I'm
walking like an
done.
old man out there. It's like, oh, my back is stiff, my hammies are tight.
Before I got out there, my knee hurt. I was like, this is horrible.
Fair enough.
Like, I feel like if I've been out for a while, like dancing like gets me warm and I don't even realize it. Or like if I'm like, all right, like doing jumps doesn't just do it justice, and the crowd loves it. So,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay, so when you got to Wisconsin and obviously where you're at now, what part of your game do you think improved the most? And what, like, obviously the game comes fairly naturally to you. What part of it did you actually like have to really work at?
My blocking on the right side, honestly, because I came in as a middle, but they had me move to the right side because that's the position that was open, and I had never blocked over there before, and my blocking was trash. Like, my coach was like, at the end of season,
How does
like,
one block like trash? Because to the layman, it looks like you guys are just kind of like jumping up there and trying to get in front of the ball.
It's like
there's nuance to it.
Like if I'm going up to block someone and they hit it off me every time. Like every time my freshman year I went up to block, most of the time it was like tool off me at a point for the other team.
So how do you correct that?
Like shaping your
Okay.
hands, yeah, and then not like blocking back behind your head, but up in front of you.
Oh, okay.
And I would just kind of go up there like, don't hit at me.
So instead of hands straight up, they're now
like
aggressive
like
towards
going
over the net.
Going get them,
Yeah, fair enough.
I feel like that's something I really had to improve on, and I feel like another part of my game that's changed so much is just like my versatility on the court, like being able to hit first tempo, which is like the quick sets, and then second tempo is like the higher sets, and then back row I've been working on this spring, and my serve. So my game all around almost.
Right.
Yeah.
And what came the most naturally to you? What, when you played volleyball for the first time, was like, this makes sense?
Probably attacking,
Yeah.
because like I played basketball for a while, so just going up and like getting the ball was really a simple concept for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, what a great way to like fire you up for a game. The best part of volleyball is the attacking, right? Like, don't get me wrong, the defense is nice and like a good rally gets going, but nothing's more satisfying than spiking.
The other one I would say, and absolutely,
Even for a short guy that can't jump, like, no, not short, but even compared to you, sit next to Devyn, I feel short, even though we're probably the same height.
But I'll say, like, watching it, seeing someone spike, it's like watching a great dunk. Like, you can be Ant out there and have one of those moments where you can take the soul of the opposing team by like driving the ball through their body.
So hold on, how disappointed are you that you can't sub on my rec volleyball team now because you're having another year of volleyball?
Honestly, I'm pretty disappointed. I mean, I've been coping with it, but it's just not working.
Yeah, sorry to break the
I
news
feel like
to
someone
you,
got
but you're
arrested
off the list.
If Devyn showed up, they'd be like, this is illegal. Like,
Well, it technically is for her. So like that's what I'm getting at is she can't play any rec games because there's like, winning
Rules.
team gets a free pitcher or something, so
Gotcha.
she can't unless we sign her to an NIL gig.
I don't think I can do that.
so one of the other things watching was like the aces. Like those, like every time I see one, I'm like, God, that just seems so rare. You play like
Is that little chant thing
in
real?
Matt's stupid league that he had to bring up. I'm sure there's aces all the time, but like
Oh,
in your you guys aren't
When I'm serving,
you
there
guys
is.
aren't great.
It's okay.
Slash, you drink a lot of Coors Light, and the ball just what's this? Oh, the ball.
Playing beer in hand is hard.
Yes, but like, where does that rank on the like satisfaction meter of like a great play?
A good ace, honestly, especially if it's at towards the end of the game, is like, you couldn't even pass my serve, But for me, a block, like straight down block, because they're trying to overpower you, but they literally couldn't get past you. It's like, boom, like in your face.
Yeah.
I've gotten a couple of, hey, like keep it on our side, because I'm like, let's go. But that's definitely my favorite spot, my favorite part of it. And then I feel like ace is like third after a good kill. Nah, it's like at the bottom for me. Like a
Okay.
good dig is
Yeah.
pretty good too, because then it's
Yeah.
like you're stopping somebody
Yeah.
else, you know.
Seeing in my
I'm
head
with
just-
you. I'm into the block in my again. I play, summer ball and on the sand. My
This
wife.
guy, what is happening right now?
My wife loves the block. Like, she will get in the other person's face, guy or girl, on a block and like stare him down.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Can I
I
just say-
I can feel it.
Going forward, anyone that wants to call in and equate their curling skills to
Yep.
Matt Hamilton, go have at it. Because Matt has multiple times now been like, well, in my volleyball league, I know the feeling. It
Yeah.
feels good. Yeah, okay.
In his beer volleyball league.
Here's the thing. That's the beauty of sports, especially sports that can be played at a more rec level. You see the people that do it really, really well. And when something even remotely close to what happened in like an actual game happens to you, even if it's like the most unathletic move ever and they're easily getting to that ball and get it up, like I will fall down but knock the ball up and I will feel like I just flew halfway across the court when I probably just like dropped to my knees.
Can you do me a favor, though? Going forward
I
in your
can't.
league, you know how there was like the term like Kobe, like when you do something. Can you do like Devyn when you do something well in the volleyball?
Well, as
league
long as
that
I do something
only
like
you care about?
Devyn-esque,
Yeah.
I got to
Well,
do
that's
something
well, that's the whole
Devyn-esque.
point of the Kobe thing. To your
Yeah,
point.
I know, but here's the thing. I don't make plays every single week. I like
Well,
to
when
try
you
to
do-
think I do, but it's not real.
When you do,
Fake.
time to time, just do the.
My
instead of Kobe,
perception
go
of what
Devyn.
happened to what actually happened, I've found is pretty different when I've chatted with my wife like after the game. I was like, "You see that dig I had?
She's like, "Matt,
that
you're-
one where you literally kind of bent over and got it up into the air?" I was like, "Yeah, dude.
Okay.
It's up, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying."
Your wife's like, you were passed out face first in the sand for the last 10 minutes of this game. That's a fever dream you had.
Hey, you know what? That counts as real for me.
All right, Devyn, thank you so much for taking the time to join the shows. Devyn Robinson, we are the new home of Wisconsin Badgers volleyball. We're thrilled about it. And Devyn, well, I'm sure we'll have her on again because she's part of the team here at ESPN
Absolutely.
Madison. Thanks for letting us be a part of the women's volleyball team.